So hey everybody, Fletcher Stump here, and before the video starts real quick, I just want to go over a few things. Number one, no, I am not wearing these to try and look cool or whatever. I went to the eye doctor's today, and it was a little bit later in the afternoon, so I still had to record this, yet my eyes are super dilated and really sensitive to light right now, so I just need to wear these for this video, so this way I don't screw up my eyes or anything, okay? That's the only reason. Number two, I realize my video uploading has been stopped, I guess would be the right word. Basically, I'm just kind of stretching myself out between too much, and I gotta organize better. That's basically it. But things will pick back up, I promise. And the last thing is, if I'm gonna do this ahead of time anyway, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I highly recommend that you do. Go ahead and click that little button right there underneath the video. If you like the video when it's all said and done, feel free to give me a thumbs up. Leave me down your thoughts there, and remember, you can request characters for character breakdown, and then I'll let you guys know whether it's good or bad. And also, if you want to see who's in the next character breakdown, remember to stay tuned to the end of the episode where I will reveal it there. Without further ado, let's get underway. So, hey everybody, welcome back to Character Breakdown here on Radioactive Inc. I'm your host, Fletcher Stump. Today we are looking at none other than Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. No, not you. Get out. That's right, I don't care about the live adaptation for this. What we're looking at is the animated version. And in case you guys didn't know, the live action that came out is the live action adaptation of the 1985 animated version of Ghost in the Shell. Now, along with that, there's a lot of stuff in between all that. So there's 1985 all the way up to the Standalone Complex second gig. Now, there's about other stuff in between that, starting off movies, other seasons, Standalone Complex, The Laughing Man Trials, you know, all of that comes along as the story progresses. But we are focusing specifically on the Major, who she is, exactly what she is, and everything kind of in between from there. Now, if you haven't seen Ghost in the Shell and you don't really, and you're thinking about watching the anime, then I do warn you, spoilers for quite a bit. So, without further ado, let's get on with it. So, Major Kusanagi is, as we know, a complete badass in just about everything that she does, and she works for the anti-terrorist organization Section 9. Now, their mission is to, you know, kind of act as like a prevention system to try and stop terrorists. I mean, you know, if you've seen the anime, then you know that they don't have very quick response on this stuff. Like, generally something happens and then they're able to put their resources to work, because, I mean, that's not really their job. They're there to stop terrorists, not identify them before something happens, you know. That goes to other departments, and they're supposed to set it up going, hey, this person's a terrorist, stop them. So, now, she wasn't always like that. Going all the way back, and I mean all the way back, to the beginning of the Major's timeline, she was a normal child, believe it or not. Just a average, everyday girl. Now, what had happened is, as it's revealed in the Standalone Complex second gig, is that there was a plane crash that resulted in basically her near death, pretty much. She was comatose, to say the least. And about this time is where prosthetics started to take off in the Ghost in the Shell universe. So they gave this chance to this girl who basically would not have survived any other way. Now, these were like basic prosthetics, so, you know, basic motor skill, like you could pick something up, you know, you can move, but there was no like intricate movements to it to where like you could fold paper, like do origami. You couldn't sit there and really write something out. Like these were all it was really, really basic, kind of like to what we have now. I mean, like, ours is getting better, but, you know, we're still limited in how far we are right now. So, now, not much is known about what happens after she gets the prosthetics and becomes the Major we know now. Now, so we're going to have to fast forward through her life a little bit through that. Now, after that, she ends up somehow getting picked up to become a weapon. Now, I don't know if they, like, brainwashed her or kind of just did, like, a quick mind wipe, but somehow or another, she ends up getting wrapped up and becomes a weapon for the war. That's right. In this universe, World War III and World War IV have both gone off. It was nuclear World War III and non-nuclear World War IV. And I do believe she fought in both of them. So, yeah. Now, she was designed as a weapon. I'm talking, like, the best of everything. Programs that she can use any weapon without any form of training. Hand-to-hand combat simulations. Vehicle training. Like, you name it, it was in her to be able to do that. Now, needless to say, after the wars, I should say, she's probably on, like, her, I don't know, 4th or 5th body at this point. That's the interesting thing about the Major, is that her body can be replaced, because everything that the Major is in her brain. Like, her brain casing contains everything that she is, so it can be moved around from one body to the next, if need be. If enough damage has occurred, just get a new body, swap it out, you know. Pick out what you want, what kind of features, and there you go, if you want the same body. Now, where was I? Right, so she's on, like, her 4th or 5th body. Now, at this point, Section 9 is already trying to get off the ground and, you know, get their feet planted for what they do. Now, the Major had already had a lot of people willing to go with her on a lot of stuff. Due to the events of the wars, the Major picked up a lot of friends, because these guys who follow her are the best at what they do. I'm talking best at hand-to-hand combat, tactics, sniping, and she beat all of them. So, yeah, they're gonna go with the Major because she's badass. You can't deny that. She is badass. So, after all of that, Section 9 is formed. And basically, she just goes through like that, has to replace a body every so often. And that's their job. They're stopping terrorists from doing these global catastrophes. And you'd be amazed how many people in this anime want to start up another world war for whatever goddamn reason. Like, 4 of them wasn't enough. You gotta have number 5. Just good old lucky 5. Yeah! So, I mean, hell. Excuse me. Now, the Major is... she's very closed off. She doesn't really talk about herself that much. Which Bato keeps trying to get her to open up, but with not much resolve to it. And, I mean, there are reasons for why she doesn't want to open up. I mean, she doesn't even remember that she had a childhood. She just remembers herself being this weapon of war that's just being used. And, I mean, so there's not really much to go on there. So, you'll see kind of from time to time, she just kind of saunters on her own. Now, it is revealed that, you know, pieces of, like, her backstory and everything, because, like, the characters that follow her kind of give you the story of how they all met up and what happened and everything in between. So, I mean, the backstory is not closed off, it's just there are certain sections that are never revealed due to they're just not there. So she is a tad closed off, yet she's not completely hard-ass, you know. She does have her caring and rational side to her that does present itself more often than not. I mean, she's not... she's... how do I put this into words? She's not a bitch. she just kind of seems like that whenever they're trying to catch somebody, because, I mean, she's very determined on what she does. In her mindset, it's, we have to catch this guy, because they're going to end up hurting people, and that does not work out well for anybody. And it is very nice. Now, she does, she is somewhat nostalgic. Throughout the changes that she has in her body, she keeps something with her through every change, kind of like if you guys have seen Doctor Who, how when David Tennant was the Doctor, he was talking about how the one-time Lord always got the same tattoo every time he changed. That's kind of what she does. She keeps a silver watch, wristwatch, with her that she takes with her from body to body. This way she doesn't really lose herself. So, it is important to note that even though she is not human anymore, she does have this human side about her that kind of keeps a lot of people grounded. And that's the thing about this anime, is a lot of people end up becoming like cyborgs and androids and things like that, but in order to keep themselves from like completely losing their humanity for who they are, they carry around like that nostalgia and everything with them, and so this way they can still feel like they're human even though they're really not. Now, so I mean, the Major is definitely one of a kind. That is for damn sure. She is absolutely one of a kind. Now, the part that you guys really want to hear about is, of course, the overall stats for the Major. Now, as I said, the Major's body is not organic. It is pretty much machine. It still has working parts, if you get my meaning. Everything still works. So, but as for everything else, now, being that she does have cybernetics, and that every time, generally whenever she goes to get a body, something has been upgraded from the last time she went. So her body's getting better and better and better. So taking it at her max potential, which would be the second gig of the standalone complex, would be probably her best potential. We can roughly surmise that overall strength is roughly 5 to 6 times greater than a human. Now, not to say that, you know, it's completely out there, it's just, that's the reason of the cybernetics, like, that, so she can run faster, hit harder, these kind of things. So overall strength is roughly about 5 to 6 times stronger than an average person. Roughly the same with the speed, is probably around 4 to 5 times faster than a normal person as well. Now, computing capacity, there we go, computing capacity for her brain is like, boom, just instant. I mean, it's a human brain. Sure, I mean, it's not completely human, but it still functions on the same level. So, I mean, she is on that shit. She is absolutely on that shit. And like I said, the Major usually is never wrong about things, generally because she's somewhat smarter than most people in the room, so she's generally never wrong, but has been proven wrong on occasion, so, you know, not completely way over the top. Now, as for definite feats, now, I would have to say that her best feat comes down to stopping a tank by punching it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Punched it. Now, of course, there's other stuff that goes into that, you know, with everything in between, you know, the what the material is made out of, and so on and so forth, so using that is how I was able to calculate out the strength and everything like that. And, I mean, this woman, she used a sniper rifle single-handedly with nothing but just her arm and her leg, cocked and fired off a sniper rifle that doesn't tell you something. I don't know what does. But, I mean, at the end of the day, she is really just trying to keep people safe. She's had enough of war. She's had enough of the wars and, you know, the senseless fighting, so she just wants to try and keep people safe, you know? Make people feel like they can not have to worry about a bomb going off next to them. And I think that's why she excels at her job. I mean, she's seen senseless violence. She's seen war, so 2 wars. But yeah. So that is Major Kusanagi in a nutshell. Now, I realize this one wasn't all that great. I mean, believe me, I know it took a while to get it going, but the math is what took longer than anything, trying to calculate out everything. I mean, between like her sharpshooting abilities and, you know, her just general strength, it's crazy. So, but hey, I know who you guys want to see, who the next person is up on the character breakdown here. So I present none other than So that's right, the next person up on the character breakdown chopping block is none other than the drug trip without the need to take drugs, bo. Don't know why I keep subjecting myself to this shit, but I don't know, maybe I'll figure it out one day. But hey, I want to thank you guys for coming on and joining me for this episode of Character Breakdown. I hope that you did enjoy it, and if you're new to the world of anime, I hope I gave you something to go check out and watch and see if you like it. I mean, you know, if not, that's cool, but hey, once again, once again, feel free to subscribe, leave me down your thoughts there in the comment section. You can also request characters if you want. If you like the video, feel free to give me a thumbs up. And hey, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to share it around with your friends. Until then, I'm Fletcher Stump with Radioactive Inc., signing off.